Concentration kills depression, all forms, even boredom. Our Lord and Savior has made the system so perfect that he goes, okay, you like video gaming? You can concentrate on that. Oh, you like football? You can do anything you want in this. Which, imagine if we made the world, we'd say that's blasphemy. Concentrate on scripture. But no, God's not like that at all. He's like, you want to play ping pong for concentration? Whatever you want. It's your world. Go enjoy it. Right? It's a fallen world. As in, go learn however you need to. Eventually, as an old man, that concentration you bring from ping pong, you'll bring it back to scripture the correct way, I hope. But the gift I got from the Lord was 10 out of 10. You know what I mean? It was always like, if I put in half the effort, I would get double the reward. But as soon as you get the reward, you go, I want more. This can't be the double. This must be the half. So it's always a perspective thing with humans. And humans are such vile pieces of shit, dude. Oh, what do I do now? What do I do now? I know what to do, but I am scared. My daddy left me, and who is Zherka's daddy? Who is Zherka's daddy? And it's like, dude, no one on earth has a dad. Nobody. Destined to be broke this cycle, and it's like, nope. There's so many people who are destined to be broke and still break out of their brokenness very easily from the good, from absorbing the good. Now, a lot of people get scared and they dissipate it with a thought. Well, I have to do this. She didn't text me, and then it goes. And whereas the mystic will raise it until they're funnier, until they're better, until they're giggling to themselves in a room alone, and it's not weird. Until they're enjoying a meme without saying, I'm going to show Buddy this. Until they're enjoying a meme because they know God is right here in the moment, and you're sharing it with your Lord. Did you know that every time you're asleep, you review your day backwards? Have you ever heard that inner voice in you tell you not to do something that's karmically linked to something you've done in the past that wasn't right? That inner voice, you can turn the speaker up on that thing, 100%. The only problem is other things turn down. For example, your streaming career, you'll turn it down because that's just noise. A lot of things you'll turn down for that voice. A lot of you guys, women, you'll turn, I don't need 10 girlfriends. Right? I have everything I want right here. The whole point of the video game of Earth is to get good at hearing that voice. Right? Through moral imagination, moral inspiration, and moral intuition. These are much deeper mystical states that are subtle. Attention. A lot of people think it's, if I focus, it's right here in the now, and I'm gotten right. Oh, I let go of it. Oh no, it's bad. That's not how it works. Attention is like this. Think of a wave that cracks in the river from the ocean. It starts pouring in here in the center, correct? And you go, I'm focusing, don't lose it. No, let's go right back to it. Positivity, focus. And then what happens at one moment, you can let go and it keeps going on its own. And then the river turns into an ocean and it just keeps going in momentum and momentum. And before you know it, you're in a flow state. And you go, whoa, Zherka, you were right. If I just hang on to it, it's not that hard. But when these motivational fucking channels talk about it, these pieces of shit, they talk about it like you have to hold it for 24 hours. So everyone says, fuck that, I'm not doing that. That's too hard. That's too this. It's nothing good is too hard. Everyone talks about life being hard and this and career and that, and you're making it hard. It's actually not that hard. You get to a momentum state and things actually kind of surf on its own. They surf on its own. The millionaires are making money drinking coffee on their couch. They're not working hard. They've already done the hard work. It's going now. It's just moving. I got 5 more courses coming out. Some lukewarm, some you might need. If I'm a good businessman, I'm not going to tell you which is which. You're going to cancel all your subscriptions and hang with me. Right? Even when I was just doing entertainment, I was always working on Jones type of stuff, right? You've always seen it bleed into my work, and sometimes for 6, 7, 8 hours of my stream, I always have a life project. I know my incarnation, not like the way people say they know there's. I know it like in a fog, right? And I'm really skeptical of people who know what they're here on Earth to do, but they tell you it's super clear to them. It's like, no, it's really not. You'll know it's clear when it's foggy. And you'll know it's bad when it's opaque and you can't see your mission, right? And by the way, don't listen to these Buddhists that say you don't have a mission, just sit under a fog. That's a different part of evolution at that timeline. But in this timeline, There's a reason why mental illness spreads from those who do nothing. You know, you will get very mentally ill if you do nothing. Spiritual corresponding reason is to work, and why humans have to work hard is because in the highest state of heaven, which is angel form, right? When we're all in our angel form in one presence, everyone does a use for God. If you look in Swedenborg's writings, every angel has something they do for God. Every angel and sounds and is different from every other one, even though they can kind of combine and combine. You were on Twitter before you started, and they're like, oh my God, yeah. And like, I guarantee you, you were on Facebook, you were on something, some high school picture you looked at, and that external is a demon in your head. It won't go away, even if it's like bland and nothing. And it makes any kind of meditative state impossible, right? That's why the guys who say, I don't touch my phone in the morning, I go right into it, those guys never have a problem, right? And the guys who said, well, I scrolled a little bit, I go, I can't help you. You're a fucking idiot. You're done. You're done. If you that thing where you grab your phone, you have to check but it turns into half a scroll. Yeah, I can't help those guys. I think there's books. I think there's self-help books that have made millions of dollars appealing to those. But I genuinely think people with that lack of discipline are pathetic. When people, it's like those people who say, I want to change my life, but can't unfollow everything. And I go, well, that's your life, right? That is the phone part of today's world is your life. It's like someone who watches Game of Thrones all day and says, I don't want to be associated with Game of Thrones. And I go, okay, then you're watching. In your day, where you achieve this whole feeling state, sometimes even by accident, and you're bathing in goodness, it takes a while and then a thought ruins it, right? But yeah, for the average guy. Now, for the last 12 years that I studied this kind of stuff, and the stuff I've been through, sorry, my screen keeps doing that weird shit. For the last 12 years, I remember young, it was like 10 seconds. Then it would be like minutes. Then when I started streaming on Twitch, I'd get it for like 10 minutes. You know, when you get with something, when your life starts correcting. And now I can do hours. And you go, damn, you have everything you want. Why the fuck are you there? Like, you can just see it in someone's face. Yeah. Humans cannot let go of their suffering. They have to repeat what's going on. You know, it's a very demonic thing in them. It's very away from the good, away from the true. And that's why there's spiritual circles that are dedicated to waking each other up and reminding each other to stay away from states, many states, right? Like, a state, to live in a state desired is great, but there's a higher state to live in nothing wanted. That's the highest state. How do you have small talk with people? Small talk comes from accepting who they are. It doesn't come from any Tyrion Lannister motive, like, what do they want? And I'll give it to them and blah, blah, blah. And that's manipulation. Small talk comes from accepting who they are. As soon as a human feels accepted, they can talk about trees. Oh yeah. They can talk about a sequoia, a redwood. I do a bunch of the lectures on Steiner. I'll mix it up. So if I ever feel like I'm losing attention on one place and concentration is failing me because I'm 7 hours, 8 hours into my study, 4 or 5 times a week, then I'll switch it up, which is mind-blowing to a lot of people to hear, because they're like, wait a minute, you switch from theosophy to theosophy? How are you not exhausted? And I'm like, Netflix doesn't interest me at all. You know what's funny is not even mysticism intrigues me. It's the mystics who are like Zherka that intrigue me. It's the guys who talk about mystical experiences that don't feel foreign. I've gone through that. I've been through that gate. I've been through this, exactly what he's talking about. That's the junkie side of me that researches. It's more like, oh, there's many different streams of experience on earth with the divine, and I want the ones that they can actually make me feel normal again, you know? Because to me, it's always looked like a superpower to not slow down with anything you do and just take all the world's money. That always looks cool to a young guy, right? Like, wow, that's so badass. And then, you know, you go through an experience and you start to feel bad for someone like Tate, because you go, oh shit. You know, we know how the story goes if you got all the money in the world. Not that hell is forever. It's a purification of hell and shame, and then everyone goes into their subjective heaven for however long they desire. I always thought that I have the most interesting life where you can see me go very materialistic or very the other way, but it's always feeling whole. It's always bringing me back to this center. And then I always have stared at people kind of like Tate, Sneakos, that they don't have that deeper thought, which is so cool business-wise, if you think about it. But I always wonder, I'm like, oh, one day it'll come to them too, right? Like it has to. Why you live your life a certain way and someone lives it another way, and which way is right? And then, you ask God, and there's actually, the answer is do whatever you want, don't hurt people. And you go, oh, wow, this is very different from regular Catholic thought and stuff like that. What do you mean? You could just play basketball? It's like, yeah, but you got to bring this magnetic kind of healing energy to everyone around you, family, friends, inspire others, etc. The good, use the good to inspire the world. You can't just be a piece of shit. And then you go, oh, there's this kind of like total freedom aspect to reality. And that's paralyzing for younger me, for how many people get paralyzed with the thought of, whoa, you can do anything you want. Whoa, there's a spiritual side to basketball. There's a spiritual side to everything. Well, maybe we should live in spirit. Maybe we should raise our spirits. Maybe we should have a different approach to life, Like when you're eating a steak, you're raising that cow into a higher vibration by digesting it as a human. YouTubers, spiritual channels made this shit sound like mumbo jumbo. So when people say, hey, Zherka, that's gay, I go, yeah, I understand what you're saying. 100% agree. I was really turned off for the first many years because of, have you ever met like there's some cute blonde that you're hitting and she's giving you her spiritual takes and they're not wrong, but they're not beneficial to say out loud because people construe it in the wrong way. Like a blonde will talk about freedom, which she's 100% correct about, but it turns into her being a hoe, or her friends being hoes, or her encouraging some hoe shit. And then you're just sitting there thinking like, how does she have in this matrix the right concept? But when applied, it's horrible. And if she's fucking up this hard, how bad am I fucking up? Right? Because if you just have a rational male mind, you fuck up hard in the world. Like, you know how many people in this chat think like boys, rational thinking types, and then they just are in awe of me talking to people because they see like some intuitive energy from me and they go, what? I want that. I want that thing Zherka has, that intuitive energy. And then you go into my mind and my mind is like, no, I like what you have. That whole organizing, setting up your fucking computer perfectly in your room and your microphones and all that nerd shit you guys do. The basics is your day-to-day tasks and the surprises that pop up, that eventually those surprises turn into big angelic gifts of immense goodness, just perfect from the Lord, right? Through angels. And it's like identifying in the middle of your day what's happening to you. This is the butter of walking through the world. This is the first time you'll say, man, I don't want a different car. I don't want a different house. I'm just good. And now you're that guy. Well, if I lived in the state and desire fulfilled, how come I'm not feeling it some days? And it's like, dude, you have a gratitude issue. That's first and foremost, right? You have a gratitude issue. And I'm not saying like you compare, my life's great because other people don't have missing arms. And I'm not saying that shit. I'm not saying that at all. Your life's just great. It's great, that's it. Because when we do the compare game, you will lose. Oh yeah, even if you're winning that game, you know what I mean? The comparison game is the thief of joy. A human cannot finish something unless they spoil it first. Yeah, 100. People are like, whoa, spoilers, no. Bro, if you spoil the middle page of that book, the part that you're really interested about, if you just spoil it for yourself, like ending, you will finish that book. Genuinely, you will. That is your hook, right? That's why I used to use Seeker I'll find on everything I want to find in that book. And then I'll start there and I'll spoil it's like going to the dragon fight in a movie. You're telling me you're not going to go rewatch the movie after you watch the ending? No, that's the best movie you've ever seen in your life. And they're not Bob topics. If Zherka is into mastering his day, and Bob is into mastering esoteric romance, he should read what he wants to read. That's how he'll learn it. He shouldn't go to my stuff. You can't learn it if you're not interested. There's a dopamine component to this, right? That's why I hate the discipline guys who say you could just like, You can learn stuff without wanting to learn it. It's like, no, you can't. That's the worst way to learn something. Naruto never had parents. He was always alone. Is that really that bad? Yeah, but Sasuke loved his parents. They raised him into boyhood, and then they were killed. So that bond was severed. And Sasuke's argument is that that's much worse than being born without parents. Right? Your argument is, in the eyes of a mystic, it's the most selfish thing you could ever say, because what you're saying is, I've had a girlfriend, I've lost her, mine hurts more than the incel who's never felt love. That's how much of a piece of shit you are. Like, that's how rotten you are, if you think about it. It's so dark and evil, what you're saying. There's a Shakespeare quote on this too, like, he said, "'Tis better to have loved and lost than never to have loved again." Everyone agrees on that, except you. You think you're special. You think that your suffering is just, it's magical, it's different than others, right? She starts saying your name and telling you what you like and things about yourself, and you start to know yourself, and it feels so healthy. You're starting to go inwards, and it's great. But the incel who never had that, no woman telling him any of that, never raising his capacity of loving, you're telling him that your life is worse. But you already got all those things, you know? So, in the old days, the Shaolin monk would smack you with a wooden board for being that fucking evil. That's, only humans can be as evil as you, man. That is fucked up. That is, the greatest blessing on earth is to lose everything, because now you are free. Now, this disintegration process, when you do lose everything, a lot of people love to use the words like, oh, just got to build it back up with the right mindset and just blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, you're going to have the wrong mindset for a while. That is what the disintegration of your I is, right? You're going to build back into a stronger I and a less phony I and all this, right? But this disintegration process has to happen. So, you know, there's a lot of guru channels who go, just think positive. No. If you've lost everything, you have to go through that. You think you're going to go through this world without suffering? I've always taken something that I've started with someone. Let's say there was a girl I loved, and I started a project when I was dating her, and not with her. I didn't do it with her, but I did it privately in my own time as I was seeing her. So she never knew I started this project. And this project I ended as soon as we broke up, because, you know, I disintegrated at a young age. And much later, I went back to that project alone, without her. But the fact that it linked me to her in my past, even though she was getting blurry at that time, it was feeding me all this loving energy I had towards her, bringing it into the now. And so that project led on to some of the greatest works I've ever done in my life. And so when people say, hey, I want a technique for building myself up from disintegration, I can give the cool guy answer and say, oh, just move on, bro. Or I can give you what I did. And I really think you can use, if you are stuck in that always thinking of the past thing and nothing's working, there are moments of your past that can revive you, where you were involved in the good, and you can bring it into the now. Even though thinking about the past is horrible, when I do it, I transform the past. You know, I go right to the moments where everything was good and I bring it into the now, whereas most men go into just the dark places. And you remember this, to go to the dark places, you should go feel it all at least once. Don't go talk to a therapist about it for 1,000 years. But you should feel it all at least once, right? Closure is not just like a buzzword, it's huge. I think of any time I was involved in the good and I bring it into whatever I'm doing today. A lot of people will have that image with the homie and then they'll think of something negative they did with the homie. And I'm like, no, you can choose the images, right? You can't choose the stream, but you can choose which one you want to unlock, which image, right? The stream's coming. It's throwing a lot of things at you for your free will. Tell these niggas there's nothing more important than your relationship with the Lord. Probably just like an average woman. If you are an incel, everyone's a hoe. Everyone's a hoe if you're an incel. That's something you have to work through, right? I always believe in giving people the benefit of the doubt. That way your soul progresses, even though you're vulnerable to pain there. But that's how you play the game. You know, all you guys were like, I don't want to date her if she's a hoe and it hurts me, then I'm not gonna. Oh, you don't want to play the game? Guess what? Depression, disintegration, and now your life sucks and you're a fucking loser. You have to play the game. The game of love you have to play with your friends, with everyone around you. You have to give people the benefit of the doubt. If you get fucked over, you get fucked over. Be a man about it. Take it on the fucking chin. You can't be like Tate and be all afraid of getting married. Oh, I'm afraid of getting married because I could get hurt again. It's like, bro, stop being okay? Your dad did it. Your grandparents done it. Your great-great-grandparents done it. And you watch one Tate clip of him afraid of the womb. He's just got some like mom issues. Like, bro, you have to get into trusting people and being regular soul. You can't just watch TikTok clips of some bald guy. Her do whatever she wants. Freedom to do that. That's the only way you can actually love her. Steiner says the same thing too, which in today's day and world, that's called being a cuck, right? But I understand it. You know, you can't be worried when she's at Costco getting your fucking bananas. You know, she's getting the banana. If you're conscious and protecting people, you can kill someone, okay? If you're defending your home, so all we're looking for is to avoid fake feelings. Once we avoid fake feelings, then you can do you can have negative ones and nothing damages you. You wake up to a better life every day still. Thoughts on black magic. I don't know what I gained from that. Like, what do I gain by talking about that? A lot of you guys, so many of you guys messaged me about your benefits and business and all this stuff. And well, I listened to Zherka, I made 8 million and all this stuff, but that's not the real thing. You put all the worldly stuff away and we talk about the mental benefits, maybe when you're at my age or maybe older or whatever. That stuff is, and I know that stuff is what you deeply want. You know, you deeply want more certainty, but you mask it as, I need more money. It's like, really? Why? Well, I don't know why, but I just need more money. Do you have a project you're working on? You don't, because the stream that comes down from the Christ or the source or whatever you atheists want to call it, this energy will always give you enough energy to do what you want. It's just you don't have anything you want to do. If you go see your buddies, you go see your parents, you go see your brothers and sisters, if you do these linking connections to love, linking to the source, actually revive you. When you're disconnected from the norm, that's the norm. That should be the norm. When you're disconnected from being human, tribals, like on the tree of Awa with Avatar, then you start to crystallize into those, whatever those streamers become, those really ugly types of souls, right? There's things you do, like when you play with your dog and stuff like that. These are all one step up the ladder of your day. And then you go to this point where you go back into your studies, feel revived in a different way that caffeine cannot do, right? So we don't look at the mental, we look at spirit. Everything's coming down from spirit, and then we look at the mental. You notice that? Why are you so motivated when you have a girlfriend? When you just started talking to a girl and you guys like each other? Why is there so much? Because of love. Why with your homie that's really funny, there's so much motivation with him? Let's start a podcast together, bro, because of love. You know, a good happy session with your family. Why are you so recharged and refreshed? Because of love. They have made the word cringe though. Yeah. They made it cringe to say the word love. Yeah. But in medieval times, that word was sacred. People, when they said love, everyone stopped doing something stupid. You know, it was very different back then. And if you ever think, wow, I'm born in the cheapest time. No, you chose to come down at this time. You wanted this exact experience, right? So if all women are hoes to you, you chose this time. So enjoy it, right? And enjoying things is like, why are we pretending like the word enjoy is not gratitude? That is gratitude, right? To enjoy something is to be grateful. Why are we pretending like it's just some kind of play, some McDonald's play place word, you know? By the way, for those of you guys who's like, yeah, Zherka, you have bad days, I have bad days, we all have bad days. I haven't had a bad day in like 2.5 years. I'm sure I have, I just don't remember right now. Now, when I was live streaming, I think every single stream I said I'm having a bad day, chat. That wasn't my thoughts, it's some guy in chat getting in me, in my head. If you don't believe they can get in your head, even strong minds, just think of Jackson's son. Did they get in his head? Did someone? Yeah, the mind is open to other Ethernet cables. If you're terrified of that, then it has to happen. That what you fear has to happen. It's like Murphy's Law, right? Have you ever seen inward confidence? Zherka talking to a girl, and then she starts to like, on the camera, starts to look at me like this. And then chat starts saying, oh, she likes Zherka. Why? What did he do? She didn't like him for the first 20 minutes. What did he do inwardly, intuitively? Did he set the degrees, or did the room? Who set the degrees there of how hot he is? It's an inward thing. It's a conscious thing. You can do anything when you're conscious. Anything except kill someone. You can never The worst person on earth, if they're conscious, they can't do it. Conscious is like, you're separated and you're coming back to the one. Is that all you got? What financial books did you read? Listen to Joseph Murphy right now. Believe it or not, I'm least familiar. I have the Power of the Subconscious Mind. I like it as a book, but that's the one I'm least familiar with, right? And I'm writing a book right now. It's going to cover all that, man, without boring parts, right? I'm making it all in one, my first. But yeah, I've always maintained for the last 12 years, I really have always liked, and I know it's popular, but it's not that popular because people don't want the scripture in it. For some reason, the average guy doesn't want the scripture in it, but for me, it's the best part. Goddard's work's always the best part, even though it's kind of half correct in terms of thinking it's all imagination. It transcends imagination. Imagination is how we see it, but it's way bigger than that. And these characters were real. A lot of them in the Bible, right? Some are stories about how the mind works, but yeah. I guess that doesn't matter if you use the scripture as just an engineering tool for your day-to-day life and you go, this is way better than therapy or anything. You'll start to realize that you can use words like fuck this, fuck that without being angry. And you're like, oh, wow, I have way more psychic energy now. I can do the things I want to do. But when you're a weak-minded person, you say, fuck this, and it actually hurts you when you say it and drains your energy. And you don't know why you're exhausted. I can't focus anymore. I lost this thinking center for this, and everything is jumbled. If you are conscious towards your psychic development every day of your life, in 10 years, you will be Einstein. Even if no one notices, you will always be like, whoa, I handle problems way better than most of the world. I'm top 1% male. But if you just have like seasons where you win, seasons where you lose, conscious, unconscious, whatever, life will go by and it'll be very blurry to you. Affirmation people are like, I am great, I am great, I am great, I am great. And it's like, no, I am great. Once. Do you get how dead thinking can be filled with feeling energy? You get the affirmations are stupid? Now look at the chant, the spiritual chant. I am great. I am great. I am great. Now it can turn into a chant. That's much more effective. Now you add you turning as big as a mountain in your mind as you're saying it. Oh, now pictorially, now your walk is turning into something else. And then you go on your date. And she goes, so what do you do? And you go, I am great. And she laughs because she's so in so much comfort that you've brought the Lord here, the goodness, the great, into your coffee session. And affirmation people just obsessed with dead thinking. I am great, I am great, I am great. I would walk in a party and I'd be like, where's the pressure? Because that's where I turn into stone. I become a diamond right there, and then I'm the coolest guy there, right? Whereas most people, when they go into a party, they go, where's the pressure? I'm going to be away from that. Or they'll pretend they want to be in it, and then they'll start really getting nervous. And it's like, why don't you just see it like a video game? It's actually a lot of fun. It's a blast. But a lot of people are like, no, I don't want to get punched in the face. I don't want to get I am Zherka. I teach the philosophy of courage. You have to go there. You know why you have to go there? There is no other there. If you're on earth to develop, you have to be in the furnace. You have to be in the pressure. I always look at the average guy and I go, how come he got to jump through 2 years of hoops and I did 8? That's not fair. But then my brothers would say, yeah, but your life is so much better than the average guy. It's like, you make a shit ton of money doing whatever you want. Like, oh, there are layers to reality, dude. That layer was, when a job is not rough, but mentally it degrades you. So it is the roughest thing you could do. Construction with a smile, because then I would have gotten out of it faster. Have you ever seen a prisoner in 20 years and their mind changes and randomly they get in the mail, hey, you've actually been acquitted and blah, blah, blah. You can leave today. And he goes like this, I just read 500 books on the mind. And as soon as I changed it, I got this. What a coincidence. But most of these guys, prisoners, after a long time like that, always see it as spiritual. It's really beautiful. It's like they go out in the world and they go, no one will ever believe me. And then, some of them will find my content and they'll be like, well, Zherka, you get it. And I'm like, yo, the worst part of life is when you get how the mind inwardly affects the external and you realize, oh shit, why wasn't I like this at 21? And the answer is, an effort. If we look at it through neuro-linguistic programming, it's not just discipline. It's also if you associate it with something bad. If you associate junk food with being fat and unattractive, it's not that appealing to you anymore. It's a different switch in your mind you have to go to. The first thing I do is I spam this. See how unattractive all that looks? Like a waste of time, right? You see how you don't want to look at any of that stuff I clicked on? Look, see? See, if you go fast, look, go fast. See how it's all a waste of time? See how it's all a waste of time? You see what I'm saying? As soon as you do it fast, then try going to that doom scroll. You start to feel really guilty and you go, whoa, this is disgusting. What the fuck? What a waste of time. I don't care how you use your mind. I care how you win. Did you win through concentration? Or were you an overly active mind, which is most people nowadays? They win from deleting things. Like, I need to watch this YouTube channel to go to the next level. No, you need to delete 1,000 channels. That's what meditation is. It's going back to that empty place, right? All the nonsense gone, the garbage. That's usually the answer for most people, right? Because I reckon if you're here paying for my service, then if you're in this university, you have somewhat higher level of concentration than normal people, because normal people are still gaming, right? They don't want to concentrate on what I'm saying. When it's hard, it can go soft again, no homo intended. Meaning if you concentrate for 2 months and you're killing it, and then you have 1 month off, you are, Zherka, am I starting from beginning? Yeah, you are. It's not like it's going to take you 2 months to go back up there. You might go back quick. A lot of people go back quick, like mind memory, muscle memory. But think about how many functions, someone drops a beer in front of you and blah, blah, blah. There's going to be more bumps in the road. Living on Earth is a limited time opportunity. It's not like 1,000 reincarnations and all this stupid shit. You know what I mean? The Earth video game is the biggest one. It's not just your individual one. It's the best one for your development. It's the fastest development, the most development you can do in 80 years. This is the one you should be conscious in more than any other realm, right? This is the realm to be conscious in. If you want real courage, it always comes from self-remembering. The best way I explain it is when I was young, I was very afraid of heights. But to not be a pussy and join my friends, I had to jump off this high dive, really, really high. And I'm like, yeah, you guys are jumpers. I'm not even into heights. Like you guys are into, I'm afraid of heights. I'm not doing that. But to be courageous, obviously, to not get called a pussy, I went inward and then pulled it out of me and jumped. And then I enjoyed a few more jumps, and then the fear came back much later. And I was like, why did I even do that? But I always remembered that I remembered my deeper self as a kid, as a preteen, right? Before I did it. There's this weird thing where you're always going outward in the world, outward, outward, outward. And then there'll be a moments where you go inward, you'll stay here, you'll self-remember, and you will feel at this deep level of certainty and peace. And then when you go outward, it'll always be a good move. It'll always be, oh, someone called me, oh, new job opportunity. It'll always be something spiritual package from the divine through angels, through these angelic beings. That's not everyone, right? But everyone has moments in their day where they're self-remembering. Everyone can tune into the source, right? Can tune into the Christ, the God principle of our lives, the good, the true. And we let it go for a fucking TikTok reel. That's wild.